All right, Dad Bod episode 11, and as has become the norm, I'm recording this on a different training day between sets. I'm doing deadlifts today, but you're seeing the last deload session of squats, and this was, smooth. Everything went well. I felt a little more recovered after the deload week, though you'll see on bench press that day did technically improve, but not by a lot. So I'll be changing up programming a little bit there. Squats, I think, are good where they are. I'll continue with the same basic linear periodization for those because they just respond really easily to whatever I throw at them, really. So this week was a little bit different. We were traveling for the holiday, so you'll see my accessory day in a little hotel gym, but not a bad gym at all. Got a pretty good accessory day. And then I ended up having 2 extra days off. So other than this bench press session, that pretty much extended the deload. So that works out fine. I'm doing deadlifts today after 2 days off. On one of those days, I did 20 minutes on the recumbent bike at this hotel gym. And that kind of brought up something that I haven't really talked about is cardio. I'm pretty active with my job, but I wouldn't say I get the recommended number of steps. I'm probably between 5,000 and 7,000 steps on most days. And if I'm going to recommend a number of steps to someone else, I would recommend a little bit more than that. And to be honest, I have not prioritized cardio because of limited time and a desire to focus on strength training. So my cardio is a little bit sporadic. I would call myself fairly active. I'm active with the baby. I'm active with my job a little bit, though it is technically a desk job. But my cardio is irregular at the moment. So when there's an opportunity like that where I'm taking 2 days off anyway, and there's a convenient recumbent bike where I can watch Sports Center, I'll take advantage. And I have a stationary bike at my home. It's just like I often talk about time. And I would have to set aside another hour a week-ish to do 2 cardio sessions, which is probably what I would do if I had them in the schedule. And I have just not prioritized that at the moment. Anyway, back to the training you're actually seeing. A very low volume quad focus day. And quad focus days for me obviously start with barbell squat, seeing hamstring curl, just a few sets here. And on this day you're seeing, it was, I wouldn't say warm, but definitely bearable in the garage. It was probably 60-ish degrees. As I'm recording this, it is 29 degrees outside, so maybe a few degrees warmer in the garage. And I'm wearing a hoodie. So next deadlift session you'll see, I will most likely be in a hoodie for most of it. And I've looked online for heater options for the garage, and I always end up talking myself out of it because in Alabama we have so few days where I actually need it. I end up justifying not having it. But I found some that are under $100. It'd be really easy. I could mount them to the wall where they're out of the way. So I may end up doing that depending on how many cold days we get this year. If you have any recommendations for cheap space heaters or garage marketed heaters, feel free to leave those in the comments because I'm open to whatever options there are. And this part of the commentary is after set 2 of deadlift. And I think in general on both bench press and deadlift, I need less proximity to failure. And on bench press, I would like to get a little more volume as well. So programming will be changing a little bit on those two. I think even with as much experience as I have, I've let my ego get in the way just a little bit, especially coming back to the power lifts after a little break. So probably be a little less satisfying for me to see the numbers, but in the long run, I'll make better progress. So you'll see some slight changes, and I'll talk about those in the upcoming videos. So you're seeing the last warm-up set of bench here, and then you'll see the top set with 240 where I failed the third rep 2 weeks ago. So let's just watch this together. Yeah, so I completed the rep. See my face there. The week before the deload, I got roughly 2.4 reps with that weight. And that last rep, if it were in a powerlifting competition, would likely not count. I'm not sure if I actually moved downward, which would disqualify the powerlifting bench press, but I think the spotters would have grabbed the weight at that point. So that wasn't really progress. I think maybe I just grinded a little better than last time. So I need to change something with bench press, not because 1 week without progress is a real indicator, but based on the way I felt, it's obvious that something needs to change. And like I said, I need to be a little further from failure, and I need to get a little bit more volume. So that'll be what I do going forward. I would like to actually add a third bench day and maybe just add it on to another training session with just bench, no accessories or anything. So we'll see if I can figure out a schedule where that works, but I'll keep you guys posted. And I'm back to recording this commentary. The meat of today's session is mostly done. I've completed barbell deadlifts and my first set of RDLs and leg extensions. I have one more set of RDLs, 2 more sets of leg extensions. If that's confusing to hear while you watch this video of other training, I apologize. But that's the way I'm doing it today, so that's what's on my mind. And if you have missed a couple of videos in the past where I talk about that neck pillow, weirdly, I have irritated my neck several times bench pressing. Something about the position I'm in and past injuries, it just causes issues sometimes. And the neck pillow really seems to help minimize those issues. So just been using it for bench press. My wife got it for a flight several years ago, and otherwise it has stayed unused. So I've started keeping it out here for bench press. And since they're on screen right now, let me know what you think about the shoe racks back there. Is it distracting, annoying, an eyesore, or do you appreciate the level of organization? I can't take credit for it at all. My wife is the mastermind behind where things go. That stroller is out because we were going to pack it in a different car and we didn't want to forget it. I considered moving it out of the video, but figured it was more accurate to my life to leave it there. So that's why that's there. And we're on to the accessory day at the hotel gym. So went sleeveless for this one. It is arms, shoulders, abs, and calves. There's a leg press machine that I used for calves that worked really well. There were dumbbells. I think they go from 5 all the way up to 40 or 45, and then there were 65s as well at this gym. That's pretty good for a hotel gym. So you'll see every exercise here. And so this was our Thanksgiving trip this year. Our families we're all pretty close together, but everybody kind of has their own thing happening this year. So just a few of us ended up taking the 4.5 hour trip down to the beach. So we were here from Wednesday night through Sunday morning. So I watched the Lions on Thanksgiving at the beach. They won on Thanksgiving, which is a rarity. Almost blew it in the second half, but I'll take it. And the Bears had what is almost universally described as a poor time management / play call at the end of the game, and I saw that the coach was fired the next day. And while his record was almost certainly deserving of that, I can't help but feel bad for the guy. He's just a person. So we'll see what happens with the Bears, but the Lions are 11-1, which has never happened for the franchise before. So exciting for me. We've got the we've got the Packers this Thursday. And if I'm honest, I feel like the Lions might be due for a loss. It's been a long season already. So I will pull for them as I always do, and I will try to send good vibes their way, whatever that means. But we'll see what happens on Thursday. And also watch the Iron Bowl. And I am in Alabama, so that's arguably the biggest sporting event we have. I don't think it's arguable. I think it's obvious. And as an Alabama fan, that one was fairly stress-free. And this little gym had this decline bench for sit-ups, so I did some weighted sit-ups here. I did 3 total sets. I did a set with body weight and then a set of 10. Felt a little too easy. Did a set of 12. None of these were extremely difficult. If I were really focused on improving my ab strength, then maybe I would program these a little bit more methodically, but not too worried about it. Just got 3 total sets. Knock this out. And then the last thing you'll see in this video is a big drop set with lateral raises, and I had to use mismatched dumbbells at one point. Same weight, but different style dumbbells. So you'll see that big set, and I just fast forwarded through the rest periods. So I'll just leave you to that to finish off this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you liked it, and don't if you didn't. I appreciate it.